Hey guys, we've talked about this extensively, but it has been a while since I put a video out on this, so just going to talk about competition. As most of you know, I encourage all of you to do competition because I think at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is a self-defense martial art. Even if we're having fun with the sport aspect, getting in shape and making friends, doing a competition is the closest thing that you guys are ever going to get to a real fight. It's going against somebody unknown. There's lots of nerves with somebody watching you, having rule sets to learn, going against somebody basically as hard as you can, that they're going against you as hard as they can. So competition is super important. Now, one of the other main reasons why competition is so important is it gives you a goal to focus on. So the act of actually competing is kind of whatever, in my opinion, especially starting off. It's everything leading up to a tournament that the real gains are made, right? So if you're training with a goal and you're focused, that is where you're going to make the most gains. So if you guys have ever had the chance to watch an interview between Ryan Hall with blanking on his name right now, famous podcaster Lex Fridman, guys. So Lex Fridman, before he got famous, did a nice interview with Ryan Hall, and Ryan talks about all the reasons that you should compete and also talks about certain other things. Like, don't give yourself excuses. So as you guys know here, I expect all of you guys, if you're doing a tournament, to train appropriately. I would never allow somebody to compete, at least under my name, if they did not train appropriately for a tournament. It is a coward's way out if you do not prepare adequately. So if you're giving yourself excuses going in, don't even bother. Now, that's not to say, like, hey, you've got an injury and to be aware of it. Most people are going into tournaments injured. But you have to go in knowing that you did everything possible to put yourself in the best position to win, regardless if you're a hobbyist or a pro. If you're a pro, you're training all the time, multiple times a day. If you're a hobbyist, you're training as much as you can. Now, you might not be able to train as much as you like for a tournament, but you're still going to do your best. So don't come in with excuses already there. It's a waste of time. One of the major reasons I retired from competing is after hip surgery, I can no longer train hard in training. I can't. My hip gets sore, swells up, and I can barely walk. So yes, I could go out there and just do a one-off tournament, but what would be the point? I was competitive in the Masters division at a high level, and I can no longer be competitive, so I've moved on from that, and I focus on coaching. That should be something that all of you are looking at, is competing in appropriate divisions. And if you are competing at, let's say, a Worlds event, you better prepare for that. You would be representing my school, my name, and yourself. You should never go to a tournament unprepared and then lose by 1,000 points and think that that's okay. You can even listen to Tom DeBlast talk on this. He talks about registering for correct divisions, like not adult divisions if you're older and you're not training properly. Guys, if you're competing at a high level, like brown or black belt, and you're doing the adult division, you're going against pros. You better be training like a pro, just like the Blast was talking about. If you're not, register for the appropriate division. It would be terrible for you to have such a bad performance that you embarrass yourself and your coach, which is something that you guys know that I make very clear. You guys, if win or lose, I don't care, but if you put in the appropriate amount of work, then you're gonna do fine regardless. So just to reiterate, guys, if you're competing out of this gym, especially at one of the major events, you guys are going to be training hard for it. I wouldn't let you compete under this gym's name unless you were training hard for it. I don't understand people who go out there and wing it. It makes literally no sense. What are you proving? That you're dumb enough to go step out there with built-in excuses? I will link the Ryan Hall Lex Fridman podcast, one where he talks about competition. It's fantastic. I can't even really say it any better than Ryan Hall does in that interview. That is the mindset that you should have for competing. And obviously, guys, we're a competition gym as well as a hobbyist gym. We've won everything that we've done as a team. Keep getting after it, guys. Very proud of all of you in general.